Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady. Hope you're all doing awesome. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into today's Reddit posts. He went Pikachu wow face when I asked if he could read. I used to be a DSD vendor, which in the US is someone who goes to stores like supermarkets and stocks a very specific name brand of product from stock in the back, and then leaves to go to the next store and repeat. We're often employed directly by the name brand, not the store itself. So I have loads of IdontWorkHereLady stories, but a few of them are real special. Chances are if you see someone stocking a name brand of snack cakes, chips, soda, beer, greeting cards, trading cards, snack crackers, cookies, or tobacco, you're actually looking at a DSD vendor. I was doing my usual thing, stocking my brand, and went to part of Small Shart's racetrack, which is the main walkway in front of a department. A dude I would shortly discover was as dumb as a bag of hammers, and thus here named BH, comes up to me, completely ignoring my hat with logo, shirt with logo, cart with logo. Not a store cart, literally a my-branded cart. 30 odd boxes with logo and armloads of logo product. And asks me where something not logo, naturally, is. That is typically in the frozen section. I think those are usually in the frozen section, I say. Which aisle are those on then? The guy asks. Keep going down that way until you get to the freezer section, and then look there. Pointing to the area of the store where the freezer sections are, very obviously to anyone with half a brain. The guy walks one aisle down. I don't see them, he says. The freezer section is about 7 aisles down. Keep going until you get to the freezer section, I say. The guy walks one more aisle down. Where? He says. Keep going a long way down, you'll see the freezers. The guy moves one more aisle down and says, I can't see any. Keep going, look for the freezers. He then moves one more aisle down and says again, where? Exasperated with his incompetence, I set my logo stuff down and walk over to him, fully intending to say something to the effect of, can you not see the sign above the aisles? And can you find the big signs that say what the stuff is on the aisle and read what they say? But instead, what came out was a stumbling over, slightly yelling, can you read? It's now the guy's turn to be exasperated, and turns to me and looks at me completely incredulously, with a furrowed brow, mouth hanging open, in perfect Pikachu expression, as if to say, did I hear you literally say that to me right now, using facial expression alone? I just turned back toward my cart and mumbled out, I don't work for the store, and got back to my logo stuff. I really had actually fully intended to say something else after read. But just the question's silliness on its own gave me pause to laugh internally about what the next word should be, that I just left it hanging on read. I didn't see where the guy traipsed off to after that, and on my way out I told the manager for the supermarket, and how I accidentally asked him if he could read, and she said not to worry about it, laughing, saying, I literally want to say that every single day, I'm glad at least somebody did, and that if it ever came back around as feedback against me, she would shut it down. Good times. Entitled people yell at high schoolers for volunteering. So I'm in this thing called JROTC. It's basically the Air Force in high school. We do a lot of volunteering, mostly parking and directing and crowd control. Keep in mind a couple things. We are high schoolers. We have no professional training. There were over 1,000 people, and we were given absolutely no instruction on what to do here. We were volunteering to direct parking for the local air show that only happens like once a year. So many people came, and so many people yelled at us. This show really brought out a lot of entitled people, so here's the story. Also, the workers just threw neon yellow vests at us, and that was all the instruction we got. Our cast includes me, a person who just wants a good grade, the collective entitled people at this air show, Josh, our corps commander. We are all scared of him. There is also a running joke that he is the mom of our corps, the other cadets, Josh's mom, and the traffic director. I get there and I'm thrown into handicap parking. I stand to the side, point my hands away from the gates, and tell people to find other cadets further down who will park them. We had a long strip of parking right next to the entrance gate for handicap people, but it was long going away from the gate, and we were told to fill it in by sending them all the way down and filling it up that way. There was also a small area of space at the front, with the cone next to it, that I was told not to let anyone park in. These were all the instructions I got. So I'm doing my job and a car pulls up next to me, rolls down the windows, and an old woman begins talking to me. Excuse me, where are the handicap spaces? Right down there, ma'am. Go to the guy in the vest who is parking people and he will help you. Oh no, that's too far. My husband is handicapped, we can't walk that far. I'm sorry ma'am, but that's where the parking is. Please move along. How am I supposed to walk that far? My husband is handicapped. I understand, but we have 500 other handicapped people and they all had to park down there as well. This is ridiculous. How do you expect us to walk that far? I'm sorry ma'am, but I don't work here. Other handicaps had to park down there as well. Please move along, you're holding up the line. You ignorant young people. You need to be more sympathetic to your elders. What about those spots over there? Pointing to empty spots, I was directed not to let people park in. I'm sorry, no one is allowed to park there. Why not? I'm not sure, I was just told not to let anyone park there. This encounter kept happening many times with many different people, as well as other things. I was very close to being hit and run over multiple times. A lot of people asked me where the exit was. I didn't know because I didn't work there. Someone screamed at Josh for no reason, which put him in a bad mood all day. I just don't understand what makes people think they can act like that. I don't care that a man died. My kid's tummy hurts. This happened a few years ago, so things are a little fuzzy around the edges. I'm a veterinary technician and I got injured on the job. A puppy was handed to me and he started flailing and managed to take a 1 centimeter by 3 millimeter chunk out of my cornea with his claw. It's amongst the most painful injuries I've ever received. I can't see to save my life, so I called my dad and asked him to take me to the ER. He picks me up directly from work. The ER is a madhouse. You know it's going to be bad when there's a handful of staff waiting on an ambulance to arrive. While I'm in the exam room, I hear a page come over the system for a code blue. That means a patient has arrested, and it's an all-hands-on-deck situation for CPR. It's also a reminder that you're lucky to be waiting in an ER, because you're not dying. I'm eventually seen by the doctor, and I get a few sidelong glances from the nurses at my scrubs. They seem to notice the large paw print logo embroidered on them from the hospital I used to work at, and leave me be. After my visit, the nurse who's discharging me points down the hall at the door and tells me to exit that way, and then she gets back to work. As I'm walking down the hall, a woman pops out from one of the exam rooms on my blind side and immediately starts yelling. I almost crash into a desk. Our characters will be concerned mother, mortified daughter, and yours truly, the main entertainment. Do you know how long I've been waiting? Said the concerned mother. Gesturing in vain towards the paw print logo, I say, I don't work here. Do you think I'm an idiot? She says. I can get someone to... She interrupts. We have been waiting for 45 minutes in this room. My daughter's tummy hurts. Do you even care about her? The mortified daughter seems to be about 13 years old, covering her face with her hands, looking a bit like she wishes the floor would swallow her up. I can't help, I begin to say, but the mother slowly says like I'm an idiot. Her tummy hurts. Do you people even care at all about how long we've waited? In disbelief over how someone could be so clueless about triage, I say, did you not see the man come in that got hit by a car? Just a guess, but hoping to give her some perspective. She responds with, Is he my daughter? No? Then why would I care? What's wrong with your face? Quit winking at me. Just struggling to see over here, my bad, I thought to myself. At this point, a security guard shows up. He stands between us and looks at her, then at me. Desperately pointing at the paw print logo, I say, I'm a patient. He nods and turns to the mother and starts explaining that I don't work there. I didn't hang around to see the aftermath, because, you know, the whole couldn't see part. Some say her daughter's tummy hurts to this very day. I legally can't work here. For context, I have always looked younger than I am. I'm 24 and people still ask to see my ID for 18+ events in rated R movies. When I was in middle school, my uniform consisted of khaki pants or skirts and a dark green collared shirt. I also used to frequent a discount store chain that happened to have the same uniform, but you had to be 18 to even apply to work there. Every week, my mom would let my brother and I each spend a couple of dollars in the store after school. People asked me all the time where things were, and I could usually say I don't work here. They would see that I was very clearly a child, and they would leave me alone. One time when I was about 12, my mom took us to the store. It was after school, so I had my uniform on, but I also had my school ID, plastered with my school name, hanging around my neck. I was browsing the candy section when a man came up to me. I'd seen him there a lot before that day, but never up close. He was a big dude, and I'm already very shy, so I was nervous to start with. "Toilet paper," he says. "What?" I ask. Angrily, he says again, "Toilet paper. Where is it?" "I don't know, I don't work here." "Yeah, you do, you're wearing the shirt." "No, see?" I said, holding up my ID. Starting to yell, he says, "This is why y'all are stuck working in such a stinkhole. You're all lazy and dumb as frick." At that point, my goddess of a mother came around the corner. She used to be a criminal prosecutor and isn't afraid of anything. She grabbed me by the shoulder and kinda pushed me out of the aisle, saying over her shoulder, "She's 12, butthole." My mom took me up front to check out and told the manager what happened. The manager asked me who did it, and I was trying my hardest not to cry, so all I could do was point. It was a small store. The manager said she would take care of it, and my mom hustled me out to the car and back home. I never saw that guy again. I ended up working in that same location with the same manager after I turned 18. Apparently she'd told him if he wanted to talk to people like that, then she didn't want his business. The job ended up sucking, but the manager always looked out for me. That is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. If you got this far, be sure to drop a like, and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So I'm out of here, and until next time.